It's 10:18.
It's 10:15, and we're live, people. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. Episode 3, Game of Thrones, and this thing is moving quick. I mean, I'm kind of missing, before I even get to like introductions, I'm missing some of that slowness that Game of Thrones usually has. But, you know, it is what it is. Welcome, guys. I have with me, of course, our usual hosts, starting off with the one and only resident book nerd, Andrew Cam. How's it going, man?
Going pretty well. I'm actually enjoying this faster pace because things are happening.
Okay, all right. And next up, of course, is Boored Buddha. How's it going, Lou?
Doing well. Who's gonna hum the song?
That was you, man. We're waiting for you to do the Game for the intro.
I'm not the hummer. Where's Warren? Warren starts the tune and we chime in.
And of course, the man who gives us this beautiful camera angles, Sam. How's it going, man? Okay, all right. Let's kick it, man. So this episode, we saw the meeting of Jon Snow and Daenerys, something that we've all been waiting for. You know, the meeting of fire and ice. We got that scene that you were looking for, Sam, of Melisandre off the top. Now, before we get to Jon Snow and Daenerys, when Melisandre had that discussion with Lord Varys, though, and she said she's going to come back home to die, and you saw the look on his face, what did you think that whole conversation was about? Anyone?
I don't know.
I think that's her final resurrection, man. When Jon finally gets resurrected or whatever, I think she's gonna give her life for someone. I think she kind of put it in a way where she's failed a lot, and she has to. She says, "I have to die in this country." So it's like she might go away, but she comes back during the major war, and I think she uses the rest of her life force to raise someone.
What do you think, Andrew?
I think it's like Sam saying, she knows that she's got one more thing to do, and she's seen it in the fires. Like, she's misunderstood her predictions in the past, but this time she's like, I know what it is with clarity. I'm gonna die on this godforsaken place. And by the way, so are you, Varys. And like his face when she said it was just like, oh shit, she knows.
Varys is like, dang it, you shouldn't start conversations. You don't want to hear that.
No, I mean, like, that's true, though. I mean, Varys knows some magic, right? If I'm not mistaken. Because remember,
I don't think he knows magic, but he's experienced magic.
No.
Yeah, remember he was sold to a guy who uses parts.
Yeah, when they cut his balls and genitalia off and threw it in the fire, he heard a voice. So he knows there is magic. He believes in what the Red Priests teach. He knows that it's true. He might not believe in it, but he knows that it's true.
True. Okay. All right. So let's get to that first meeting. What do you guys think? I mean, that was one of the roughest first meetings. Not that rough, but it was. I guess maybe I was waiting for just something a little smoother, and I felt like they should have just brought Melisandre in to say, please, can you tell him you resurrected, and then maybe she'll understand, and then we can get some dragons, and then we can.
No,
it was.
I remember. Jon told Melisandre, the next time I see you, I will kill you, and the same thing with
Davos,
the Onion, Sir Davos. So she's just trying to stay away, keep the peace, you know. So tell him that, like, Sir Davos almost spilt the beans. But Jon gave him that look like, nah, they don't need to know this. Granted, I think if they did find that out, she might have been more acceptable to his cause.
Oh, yeah, she would.
I think she wouldn't have believed him. Like, so you died also with all the dead people going around, and then you died, and then they brought you back to life. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
But yet she could walk through fire and birth 3 dragons.
But
Jon Snow birthed 3 dragons, for Christ's sakes. Jon
Snow does not know how to plead a case, man. He's bad. He's terrible at it, man. At least Daenerys came forward. She's like, I'm this, and this, and this. I mean, we've done this. You know, like he does not know how to plead a case.
Yeah, but he wasn't raised for this. He was never raised for this.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, like the first son is normally raised to be basically the king. He's trained in statesmanship and whatever. The second son is normally trained to be like a backup. Third sons are normally priests. And then anything after that is just like throwaway, like all the daughters of marriage and whatever. So Jon was never trained for this.
Yeah. As a bastard especially, it's like, there's no point. It's like, look, dude, the most you can hope for is that one of your brothers hires you to work for him. So that's basically what Jon's lot in life. But that's why he joined the Night's Watch. It's like, I have no future here. I might as well go into the Night's Watch and do something honorable. So Jon is just like
Benjen is a true-born sworn, and he's also he went to the Night Watch because there's no role for him. You know?
Exactly, and like I kind of give Dany credit because she wasn't trained for this either. She kind of like figured it out on the way, and she's doing a much better job at this than Jon is, except for tonight, where trusting Tyrion, which has proved to be a bad decision for the second week in a row.
Yeah, I know that's messed up, man.
It is.
Tyrion is failing right now.
Tyrion has delivered two
the picture of a guy
massive
smiling like crazy on there. Who is that? Oh, that's Warren.
That's Warren, man. Warren, what's up, man? How you doing?
I did tell you he would not bend the knee.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't.
Okay, let's just say let's put it out there. First of all, Lou is not allowed to predict anything else because he's not predicting. Lou has gone and seen source material. Because there's something you told me. I was watching the episode. I was like, "Oh, come on!"
Hey, I'm just gonna say this. Look, I can't prove anything, but all I'm gonna say is I've never seen Lou and Varys in the same place. Lou got his little net. He got his network of spiders. And I'm just gonna say it.
Oh boy.
Lou's like, I checked. Nah, I'm not.
So Lou, you are Lord Varys, huh? Is that what it is? You after the show, you just kind of show up here. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Good job. How's it going, Warren? What do you think of that first meeting with Daenerys and Jon Snow?
Went about what is expected. Rich spoiled brat looking at some gutter trash. And then that's where they looked at each other. That's the way they looked at each other, and that's how they don't know each other. They have no idea who's the other one.
I don't even think it's the way they looked at each other though. I think she looked at him as like, you know, like she looks at everyone from Westeros like you guys have had easy lives, you know, like you guys have just had easy lives, and you've been like just coasting. Like I've been through shit. And then when she came out and she was like, I've been raped, I've been sold, I've been this, I've had so many men try to kill me. Like, yo, I don't have faith in your gods or your myths or whatever. I have faith in myself. I'm like, damn.
I like how she went like that, and then even before that, when they were announcing her and all
her titles,
announcing the titles and shit, and then it gets a little quiet, and then after Jon Snow gets like basically she's like yelling at Jon Snow. Davos comes in like your boy, like, do you know who this man is? And just starts ripping his shit out there.
I love how Davos in the arm, like,
he was like, yeah, you got stabbed in the heart.
Just like, yeah. So, but like, I love how originally Davos is just like, this is Jon Snow, and he's like waiting, and he keeps like, it's like she just spit out like 28 mixtape AKAs. Like, yeah, this is Dead there, Blondie, AKA Dragon Slayer, AKA, and he's like, yeah, this is Jon Snow.
No,
I know the name.
Daddy had like Funk Master Flex, man, doing that whole intro right there.
Like, Mother of Dragons.
Jon Snow's like, I'm Jon
Queen
Snow.
of the Seven Kingdoms. Like the Khaleesi. Like, okay, like she's just like they're just naming it one after the other. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, they should have at that point.
Jon Snow's just like, I'm just Kendrick Lamar. Just Kendrick Lamar. just like sitting there like
Kid Cudi.
Yeah, it was a funny intro episode point, but
I think we should like remember the scene. I think the first scene was actually very telling, right? When this whole season, this whole episode was about power plays, right?
Yeah.
So you see the guys from the north like dragging the boat, like kind of struggling with it, and then Jon comes on land or whatever, and they do the old introductions. Then the Dothrakis are like, "Fuck this shit! We just carry this stuff like it ain't nobody's business." I was like, power play number one, and then the dragon when they were walking up. Power play number two.
Oh yeah. She was completely showing her power off to him, and he's like, "Do you know what I've seen? What is?" It is like
I would give Jon.
I have dragons.
But I still like how Davos just started listing all his credits, and then when he got stabbed in the heart, he was like, "Hold on that one, bro. Hold on that one, bro.
They ain't ready for it yet.
They ain't ready for that one yet." She mentions it later.
I do like the way Jon Snow is. I like the fact that he's stuck on like, I don't care. I don't care your titles. I don't care what you want. All I know is there's something bigger than you and me coming. And
do I need Paul Revere to roll around this joint? That is coming.
If you look at characters in Game of Thrones, and you want to see characters that are totally similar to themselves and have basically the same story, Jon Snow and Daenerys have almost essentially the same story.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, it's supposed to.
She brought
starting off not knowing, or basically not having their birthrights. Daenerys is the rightful queen, but she's being sold off to a Dothraki. Or what's essentially a barbarian. Jon doesn't know that he's part like Targaryen, part like Stark. So he's basically going to the north and just basically throwing his life away, saying, "I'm going to stay in the north." And the fact that both of them meets, like, it would have been awesome if she goes like, "Just calm down, nephew. Like, just calm down, all right? Let's take care of this shit. I got dragged."
Okay, now that story won't come out until he speaks to Bran.
I know.
Which is going to be. At least episode?
Probably in a couple of episodes. How fast this thing is moving.
It's going? Yeah, it's episode 6. It's probably 6.
I think episode 6, maybe 7. Like that's a lot, saying a lot. But like what? This was episode 4, right?
3.
Yeah, 3.
Episode 3.
3.
This is only episode 3. Oh, okay, so yeah, maybe 6 then. Yeah.
What's happening in 6?
No, Lou.
No, I don't.
I didn't hear the question.
No.
I was saying, when is Jon going to meet Bran?
Don't answer, Lou.
No, don't answer.
Yeah, Lou, you're disqualified from answering that question.
You can't answer that question.
Okay.
Look, guys, the reason why Lou can't answer questions is because Lou knows more than he's telling. Let's just put it that way. And because Lou has told me a few things that showed up in this episode.
We'll just say he's an avid reader
of something that does not exist.
I got an early copy of the new book.
He's George R.R. Martin's proofreader.
Yeah, he is. Okay, what else happened in this episode? Sansa meeting her brother. Let's talk about that, because
that is like the look at his face after she hugs. It's like, I've seen some shit.
I've
seen some shit. Look on his face.
Andrew, you're gonna say something.
To me, that look was more like, I'm a monk. What's up? Let's just get to business. Yeah. I got some studying to do. I feel bad that you got race on your wedding night. The night was nice and all this. It's like, wow.
No, that was
breaking down the details.
The way he's saying it, how he's so cold and just matter of fact about it, he goes, "You look beautiful on that night in your white wedding dress. I'm sorry it happened to you. And it happened in our home." And it's just like, dude, man, this is like, have you not been to counseling at all? Do you not know this is not the way you talk about something like this?
Yeah,
and he's just Bran. That's what I'm saying. Like,
he is Bran, and he's seen some shit.
He's not even Bran. He's not even Bran anymore. He's becoming the Three-Eyed Raven. Like,
he's not just becoming.
Social norms and everything are just going out the window.
Here's the thing, right? Now,
he has seen some shit.
It's not just he's seen some shit. He said something which I think goes back to the time travel they did last season. Is Bran, was he himself who taught himself?
No.
Because he said, I am the three-eyed raven. I was taught by the three. He basically said he was taught by himself.
The other three-eyed raven was a Targaryen. We all know that already. So he's not the one who trained himself. Okay. I think the whole thing, he probably will get better as he goes along by basically going back in time and learning from other three-eyed ravens. That potential of him doing that. But I think that whole scene really showed how, because she asked the question, right? She's like, "Oh, you are the last true Stark heir, like the last true living Stark," and it's like, "Nah, I can't be Lord of anything. I'm the three-eyed raven." So basically, I think this is when we start figuring out, and the fact that he did it next to a weirwood, and he was like sitting down almost at the bottom of the weirwood. We all know that basically the what's it called, the three-eyed raven basically merges with one of those trees, right?
Trees, yeah.
So maybe that's the tree he merges with, and he basically there's always going at the end of the day there's always going to be a Stark in Winterfell. So that I was kind of like, I'm like, is that what happens? Is that not what happens, or does he go away again? But it was actually a pretty cool scene there when he's basically apologizing to her and showing basically how weird it is for him to know everything, right?
Yeah.
So just apologize and say, I'm sorry for what happened to you. She was like, okay, she was cool with that. But when he started getting into details, she's like,
the thing that she didn't even know what he was apologizing for. He thought, she probably thought like a general apology, like we've all suffered, our family, so I get it. And then he started going into details. And then he's like, remember how he started? He's like, it's a snowflakes a day like this. And she's probably going like, okay, yeah.
Oh, she's like, oh shit.
And you look beautiful. It's like, all right. In your white dress on your wedding day, and she's like, "Oh, Lord, have mercy! No, I need to get out of here."
She's like, "I'm out. I'm noping out of here."
Nope. Yeah, because this was the best I liked Sansa, especially when she was organizing stuff in Winterfell. Right, that part was she was good. She was good. I didn't want to see Sansa from last week or the week before where she's just yelling all over the place. But Bran just came and shook her to a core, man, completely. But
I think that was actually there was another scene in Winterfell that was really good. I think we're jumping all over the place. We're not going in order, but there was another scene in Winterfell that was really good, and that was the scene with her and
Littlefinger
were talking. Yeah, when he essentially tells her that let's see if I have the correct quote here. I wrote this down.
Basically, he said she should play all battles at the same time.
Fight every battle everywhere in your mind. I'm like, oh shit! That way, basically, he's like, that way you would never be surprised when something happens. Like everyone's your friend, everyone's your enemy. It's like, okay, all right, dude. That's like a really great.
That was the best advice he's given in this show. Completely.
Yeah, that was a great insight into his mind because that's how Cersei thinks. But Cersei doesn't think everyone's her friend. She thinks everyone's her enemy. Like the daggers coming from everywhere, right? But Sansa, like he's telling Sansa, like think as though something's about to jump off at every time. Like so, just plan for everything. And I think either at the end of the day, if Jon Snow, if we're saying Jon Snow's going to go back to the north and die or become the whatever king or whatever.
That is your theory.
That might be the beginning. Yeah, that's my theory. But that might be the beginning of Sansa becoming like Queen of the North or the head of House Stark.
I believe this is my new theory, man. After just going back to Daenerys and Jon, when she told him he can mine the dragon glass, they kind of looked and gave each other the prophecy is their child, man. Just take it or leave it, man. I've just put it right here. Season 8, that child is the prophecy. That's it, done.
Huh, that's interesting.
Because I mean, there was some warmth there in between at that point.
They glazed into each other's eyes, and the sparks started flying.
When she was like, he almost wanted to ask her like, "Do you want something?" And she's like, "You have, dragon glass to mine." I don't know. What do you guys think of that? And then also back to the Sansa stuff, Andrew. I know you're about to say something there for a second.
No, I wasn't actually. I was just thinking, like, I'm pretty sure that Jon and Dany are going to end up together. Like, but I don't know if she can have kids. I think the point was she can't have kids anymore.
No, she can because ice is coming to fire. What is wrong with you? Did you hear Melisandre? Melisandre told us the title of the books. Fire and Ice. Just like the restaurant in Boston. Sorry.
So,
but what about that scene between Euron? Oh, sorry, man.
Sorry, before No.
What about that scene with Euron and Jaime? That was such an awesome scene. Euron is just like pushing Jaime's buttons, man. It's like, do something, motherfucker, do something.
My love for Euron has now just jumped up, especially.
Yeah, but okay. He was talking shit to Jaime, but at the end of the night, Jaime was getting a finger in the bum.
Yeah,
and taking that out.
True.
That's true. Okay, so let's address them in two different ways, right? Because when he was basically on at Jaime, it's like, okay, so there's two things that's going to happen here. We already I think everybody already has the whole idea, and it was confirmed at the last scene of the last scene of the episode that Jaime might not be long for this world with his sister on the throne. Okay, like she would basically what the lady Tyrell basically told him, like she will be the end of him. Right?
Or his sister might not be long for this world because of Jaime. That's what I think can happen.
Yeah.
Because we keep getting it set up where everyone is telling Jaime she's evil, she's sinister, and he's starting to see it for himself. But he's just so in love with her, like it's not getting through to him. But I think it's starting to get through to him, and it's going to be just like when he killed the Mad King. He said, killing this ruler is going to save tens of thousands of lives. How can I not do it? And I think that's the road we're heading down.
Yeah, well, she's gonna make that. She's gonna make that play to drop that wildfire, and he's gonna see and be in the same position again to say, "Do I let her do this, or do deja vu? What the fuck?"
Yeah, exactly. Wildfire, or even something more potent, because she has that maester who likes to just dabble, man. That guy likes black maester. Yeah, he likes to take things to go past level 30, man. He likes to push it.
The one thing I will say is, watching the scene with the sand snakes and her, there almost wasn't any. I was like, I'm completely on Cersei's side with this, because.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, and remember what I said? I said, like, last season, that the Sand Snakes were going to get fucked up at the end of the season. Yeah. They made the stupidest move. They were the dumbest players in the game. And meanwhile, while the what's his name, the Prince of Dora was trying to explain it, was like, no, we need to play the game a little bit differently.
The only sensible person in Dorne was the Prince. His brother was too brash, likes to boast. Cersei told us that. The Sand Snakes are very, too emotional, and they just run amok. If the brother was healthy, he would have. Then you'd have had a true ally with the Dornish.
Yeah.
I hate to be the resident book nerd here, but it is in my title. And in the books, the Sand Snakes are so damn cool, so damn, like, they are rash, but like, as badasses the way they are in the book, you're like, all right, I can still ride for them, even though they're making dumb mistakes. I can pull for them and hope it pulls out. The way they handle this on the show. From the minute that they came on screen, you're just like, I don't know about these guys. And then as the season goes on, you're just like, what is the point of these people?
Yeah.
And then they disappear for an entire season.
So many more of them. They only did 4.
There's supposed to be 8 of them, and they only did 3. So I was assuming, they're going to be even better because they're going to focus. And it's like the opposite happened. It's like they had 3, and they still messed it up.
It was watching two little girls play Warrior. It was like watching 3 little girls pretend to play Warrior.
Weren't the Sand Snakes even more allied to Oberon than they were to, like, the Snake Mother or whatever her name was?
Yeah, the Snake Mother. Right.
Yeah, but once he died,
at all.
I mean, once he
had died back in season 5, they kind of
they were aligned with her because for revenge. That was the whole thing. Yeah. It was all revenge. So you watch that whole scene, which is supposed to be Cersei being at her meanest, and you're supposed to really hate her. There's if you've been watching the whole, 6-7 seasons now and been reading the books, you don't feel bad for them at all.
Yeah, no, you don't. But that kind of shows how, like, devious Cersei can be, right? Because you're like, Cersei's gonna really be evil to this woman or whatever, but you don't think about how evil Cersei got in that scene, man. She's like, I'm gonna do the same thing you did to my daughter, but I'm gonna take it a little bit further. I'm gonna let you watch. I'm like, whoa, okay.
And you would spend the rest of your days. We will feed you. You will look.
No. She's gonna leave the body there.
Yeah, you're gonna look at the corpse.
She would leave the body. You would watch your kid decay in front of you. That would change the freaking braziers like every so often, so the lights never go out. I'm like, damn, that's kind of sick. All right, that is kind of sick, but also kind of evil and badass. So yeah.
But at the same time, if you saw your kid die, or you had your only daughter die as a parent, you saw something like that go down, almost anybody who's a parent would probably ride with Cersei in the same damn way. It was just like. The Sand Snakes essentially got what they deserved.
I know. Definitely.
And it even was worse because around the same time, her other son dies, right? So it's like too many things happening at the same time. Her father dies, her daughter dies, her other son dies. Like, it kind of pushed Cersei over the limit.
The edge. Yeah. No, definitely. I think you guys are absolutely right. We got a little scene with the Moment guy, and Sam. He knows he's healed. What's his name again? Sir
Jorah.
Sir Jorah's gonna head back. He might bring some military advice to.
That's if she lets him back in.
No, she will. Remember?
Oh yeah, she will.
Yeah, she told him
go get like
and you come back. And she needs a military advisor because we all know that
Tyrion ain't cutting it, man.
Tyrion's not cutting it.
Well, look at it this way. Tyrion's fighting people that know him, and they're 2 steps ahead of him for now. They know that they're smart. They know that he is smarter than they are.
Okay, can I just say that?
But it's only gone up, so they can only be ahead for so long.
But smart at what though?
Yeah, exactly. Tyrion is not a war strategist.
He's not a military guy.
He's not a military guy. He's smart. He's a political strategist. That's what Tyrion. He's the best political strategist, and he had good strategy for that. But when his brother is a better military strategist than he, and
no, they got to remember that the problem with that is they did not count on the Tarleys not showing up to support the Tyrells. That was the
that's
thing.
That's part of military strategy, knowing your allies and knowing your enemies. Like,
and who basically caused that? Cersei was the one who caused that, right?
Yeah, but I think they did a great job in the show showing like Tyrion's strengths versus weaknesses. So while they're showing all these military losses, they have the scene with Jon and Tyrion, where Tyrion goes, ask me for something, right? Well, you give me a reasonable ask, right? And then he goes back and he kind of works out the whole thing with the Dragonstone, and that works out so well. Like on a larger scale, Tyrion he's more of a political person. He's a political animal. He knows how to work that. But militarily, he's not that great. Like in the book, he got his nose freaking sliced off. Okay, he almost died in the middle of a battle. He's not a great tactician. He's like a great political animal, but he's not like a great military tactician.
Yeah. No, that's how I see it because, but I want to say again, Grey Worm is still alive. Thank you. Oh, yeah. You didn't go anywhere.
I'm assuming he's walking through that spear that basically pinned the guy to the freaking door.
Yeah, he did. I love the way Tyrion was describing that battle. And I was like, oh, yes, please, one win. And then next when Grey Worm turns around, looks at the water, we're like,
no, they can't get any wins right now. Remember, technically, the battle's lopsided as fuck. So they got to make Cersei somewhat of a plausible threat until Dany hits the nuclear button with dragons.
Which he said next week, right? I mean, we saw that preview. She's like, enough being nice.
Plus, if you think about it, and
then Euron's ass is burned.
Yeah, Euron.
This is a book. This is a work of fiction, right? So you have to create some kind of reason to get the major players into the game. So right now, Jon doesn't have a bone in the fight. He's like, screw Cersei, screw the whole battle for King's Landing. I just want to take care of the North, and I want to protect against the White Walkers, right?
Yeah.
So what's going to draw Jon in? You need to create an atmosphere where Daenerys finally goes, okay, Jon, we need your help on this, man. Like, okay, you don't have to bend the knee. We'll be allies. You guys can keep the North, but we need to take care of Cersei. And how does that happen? A dragon needs to die. They need to lose a bunch of different battles, and it's already happening. So, and then you see that at the end of the preview for the next episode, you see the dragon and Daenerys kind of like going in. I'm like, okay, is this when the dragon dies? So they need to have a lot of L's before they finally go, all right.
No, but I think if it's the dragon with Daenerys, I think that's Euron. Euron's going bye, man.
No, because she has got to. They can't have Dany losing for too long, so she has to pick up a win for every 2 wins. Cersei's got to be 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Right? A 2-1. She's got to go 2-1 for probably the rest of the season until it gets to that point where they go at King's Landing and just wreck them probably very fast. It's gonna collapse very fast.
Never forget, the Warriors blew a 3-1 lead. Anything is possible.
28-3. Atlanta 28, New England 3.
Yeah, so it can happen. It is plausible.
But wasn't that great though? Like, the whole dynamic between Cersei and the guy from the Iron Bank, man, that was on point.
Yeah, that was
on point. Like, especially when he stops and he goes, "You are truly your father's daughter." I'm like, "Yep, okay." Cersei has some cool in there. This was kind of like Cersei stole the show in this episode.
Yeah, because Cersei basically that whole discussion, Cersei basically just said, "You came to see me. You didn't go to see Daenerys. You came to see me," which means, number one, like you said, slave trade ain't going too well. Okay? Lannisters always pay their debts.
Well,
so there's a gap.
What has she done yet to pay back a debt?
Oh,
she took over the Tarleys. She took over Highgarden.
Highgarden, and
that was the best play ever. I was listening to when she was talking to the dude, and she goes, "Give me a fortnight," and I'm like, "Oh, the Tarleys are done. The Tyrells are done. The Tyrells are done because, like, who else has that much wealth? No one else."
You know what we got from this season in this episode is all the kingdoms that didn't have their leaders or male generals all lost. Like, her son was not there to lead her army. Same thing with
her son is fighting bad guys in New York as Iron Fist.
Iron Fist, yeah.
He's not doing a very good job of that either.
That's sad.
But yeah, no.
Couldn't make it in Westeros. Can't make it in New York.
No, I mean, yeah, true. It was a better fight in Westeros, at least.
It was stated that her armies weren't good at fighting anyway. That's why it was easy for Jaime to conquer her.
No, they weren't. But her son led her
grandson. Yeah,
her grandson.
He was supposed to. He was the Morning Knight or whatever.
Yeah, he was very good. He was a very good fighter.
The Flower Knight. Yeah. He was as a single fighter. He was like really good, and he was like in the books. He led the assault on Dragonstone to take it back from Cersei. And like he's like one of the best fighters in Westeros.
Yeah, no, he's good.
Like in the show, like
in the show, I mean, we saw when he at least that battle where he came to aid Tyrion, and also they talked about how good he was as a fighter.
Oh, wait a minute! Listen to Papi Grande. No other channel will make hip hop and NBA references during a Game of Thrones review.
Like, thanks, Papi Grande.
What else happened in this episode? I'm thinking if I miss
anything. Man, there were quite a lot of stuff. Let's see. Let's pull out the book because I take notes.
I love it. Sam's like we're taking.
Sam's the only one taking notes.
I'm trying to remember stuff.
Oh shit! Okay, so this is to me. This is about the showrunners, right? The guys who do the show. You really got to give them props, right? You notice the scene where Cersei and Jaime basically have that night together, and then her woman servant comes in. Did you notice how the woman servant kind of mirrored Cersei?
Yeah,
the black, the short hair. I'm like, okay, so they got it. Like when so fashion back in the day used to be like it wasn't really what was fashionable by celebrities. Like whatever the freaking queen was wearing is fashionable. Okay,
yeah.
So that was really cool. I saw that. I'm like, all right. So they now have women running shows. You have
nobody care. Oh, sorry. No, I saw somebody say Theon was pulled off the water. I said, don't nobody care about Meek Mill.
Yeah, no, but
that's messed up, man.
Yo, he got called out by his own man, like.
Yeah, that was
tried. That was like
you didn't try to say
that was like Freeway and Philly's Most Wanted pulling him out of the water, bringing him back to Philadelphia, then realizing it's Meek Mill, and it's like, nah, this got an L on it. You good? We good?
Yeah. And I gotta say, Dustin King in the chat mentioned that Lady Olenna admitting to killing Joffrey to Jaime was so good. Like we as viewers have known this for like 2 years, but like him getting confirmation, and she's like, make sure she knows it was me. I did this to you
because you just gave me a nice, cool, soft dad. Yeah, you're right. That definitely was a drop the mic. She's like, I'm dying. So
yeah, she's like, make sure you tell Cersei. Make sure you tell her.
Make sure you tell her.
Yeah. Women are evil. I think this episode was one of the best episodes I've watched so far. There's so much packed in it, but it wasn't done in a way that it was like, haphazard. It was done very well. Like everything connected and everything kind of led to the other, right? Yeah. Like Sir Davis mentioning that he was stabbed, like Jon was stabbed in the heart. That I think is probably going to come into play later on. With the Red Queen and whatever, and resurrections and whatnot. Because because not only has Jon survived something that should have killed him, Daenerys also survived something that should have killed her, like being burnt in the flames. Right?
Exactly, which is why their child will rule on the Iron Throne. Fire and ice make ice cream.
Fire and ice cream? What the hell?
Just you say ice cream
can resurrect.
Did you say ice cream? Let the record be known. The Thundery believes that ice cream will sit on the Iron Throne.
Yeah, because when you melt the ice, man, it becomes
water, not ice cream. Water.
Anyway, sorry, you were saying
you were a chemistry major?
Andrew, what did you say?
Yeah, I was gonna say that. What if the Red Priest can resurrect a dragon, and Cersei kills a dragon, thinking, "Ooh, I won," and then Dany finds out that the Red Priest brought back Jon. She's like, "Hey, come resurrect my dragon over here," and then she's just like burning shit down to the ground again.
Lou, don't answer. Don't even talk, Lou. Don't.
Somebody mute Lou.
Nah, Lou. Nah.
Somebody mute Lou.
See, guys, Lou knows way too much. He knows way too much, man. So I can't do that. Sorry, Lou.
Ooh, the whole thing with.
I'm talking.
I did it.
Melisandre's gone, damn it! She ain't coming back.
Oh yeah, but who taught that Sam's basically when Sam was talking to the Archmaester, when the Archmaester asked him, how did you know how to do this? And Sam's like, I read the book. For the instructions.
Sam. Yeah.
RTFM.
I followed the instructions.
Like, yeah, that should be a lesson to all you kids out there. Read the instruction manual
and follow it properly.
See,
but I think he's going to find some more stuff as he's now writing. The old manuscripts that have been hanging around. I think he's going to get some more information out there. Although there was, I saw a fan theory out there that said maybe, Sam is the one who wrote Game of Thrones. So basically, who wrote the story of this time that we see.
Yeah, the Maesters are the ones who.
I mean, yeah, true.
It would make the most sense that he would be the one that writes the story of A Song of Fire and Ice. That would make the most sense that he would have been the one that wrote it.
Yeah, but he doesn't. All he knows is the ice part of the story.
But Daenerys has no Maester.
Exactly. That's right. So they can't get messages, right?
Well, no, because they know about the dragons and all the rest of that shit. Because they have maesters out there. They got maesters in Essos, so he'd have gotten that information.
Yeah. Remember, Tyrion sent a message over, so it was sent by a maester somewhere. Yeah. Maybe the next town.
It might not be maester. It might just be that like Varys still has so many connections that he's able to communicate. I'm sure he had like a shadow network when he was in charge, so it might be that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he'll have the full amount of information possible, probably. But if he wrote the book, it wouldn't look like how we would read the book. Like A Song of Fire and Ice for them would be a little bit differently than what we're getting here.
Yeah. Marlon Blank said simple instructions just like they got at IKEA. So
exactly. Follow the instructions. It's like at IKEA. Peel skin, apply ointments, rinse and repeat.
Yeah. The Flutengog into the Boygenberg, and then boom, A to B, I'm done.
Exactly. Anything else we missed on the episode, Sam? Because I mean, I feel like there's more, but I just can't.
Tyrion and the sewers, man. Like this is the thing.
Yeah, but no, that's the part I said he was describing. But then it became an L. Like I was like, oh, this is sweet. It's a win. Remember, he talked about how he built.
Yeah, but there was a great line there though. It's like, say Cassidy Rock is impregnable. It's like, give me 10 good men and I'll impregnate the bitch. I'm like, damn. I'm like, you go, Tyrion. Tyrion was in good form, man. He was in good form this episode where he goes like, oh, bastard of the North or whatever, bastard of Winterfell. And Jon goes, the dwarf of was a Cassidy Rock. I'm like, oh, okay. Tyrion was in good form this whole episode. He was in really good form. They took him back like first season kind of like wittiness. He was always witty, but he got a little bit more serious as time went on. But this is like first season witty right now.
But remember the line, I can't remember the line itself, but when he was talking to Daenerys about Dragonstone, and he said, a wise man once said something, I can't remember what he said, and she's like, are you trying to inject your stuff, your own wisdom as ancient stuff? He's like, I would never do that.
Never do that. Not to you. Like Tyrion's like, I'm the wise man. I'm the wise one here. Okay.
Yeah. No, definitely. I think that's pretty much it because I can't think of anything else in this episode. I think we covered most of it. I mean, Arya is making it to Winterfell next week.
Yeah.
So that should be fun.
Another reunion in paradise.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that it's going to be all the true born children of Ned Stark that are going to be in Winterfell.
Maybe they team up against Jon.
Well, I mean, but I don't think they won't team up because Bran knows exactly that. Bran will shut that down. He's like, no, I'm sorry, no. And Arya has a mission still for Cersei. So
we're gonna go kill the queen.
So even there's no way for a team up because right now everybody is concentrating on a certain thing. Like we all know Sansa wants to rule the North, and she's been given that job now. So she's like, we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to do that. And Bran's like, look, where's Jon Snow? Because that is my general I need for the war. That is what I need. And Arya's like, yeah, please, okay, fine. Let me just go kill the woman down south. I'll gladly do that the other week. What if she actually is the one who kills and she's Jaime Lannister?
Oh hell!
What? That would be a pretty good.
No, or is Euron?
No. Euron's
about to hook up with him.
Euron's gonna die.
No, she's about to. No. She's about to hook up with him and some shit. And then she pulls out the mask off like freaking Future.
You got to remember though, like a couple seasons ago, like when we started the season with the flashback, and the lady telling her a prophecy that all 3 of your children will die, they'll be covered in gold, and then your brother will kill you. So we've always assumed that it's going to be Tyrion, but what if or it could be Jaime? But what if Arya kills Jaime?
Yeah. So that's what I meant to say. I said Tyrion.
Yeah. Kill him, a la like she did Walder Frey, and then kill Cersei, and then like the prophecy is technically fulfilled. Even though Cersei, even though Jaime isn't the one who actually did it.
Yeah.
That is exactly what I was trying to explain when I said Tyrion. Thank you very much, Andrew, for correcting me there.
She could wear Jaime's face.
Jaime's face, yeah. But then
Arya better not let Cersei try to stick a finger in his butt.
But she used her right hand instead of her left. And that's when Cersei finds out.
While they're betting.
Like Euron basically going, yeah, I need some advice. Like, we should talk. Like, you should tell me. Like, basically, we should get some advice, like brothers or whatever. Like, Jaime's like, what? Like, how did you like it? It's like soft or like hard. I'm like, come on, Euron, come on.
Come on, man. Look, Euron. I have to say that at first I didn't think Euron would live up to the potential of being a villain, but that ride in and when he was on the horse, it's like, man, I love this, man. Come here, let me talk to you for a second. This was great.
But like basically, that was like, to me, that reminded me so much of a Roman triumph.
Yeah,
where you're basically walking across and people are throwing flowers. But that also draws back linkages to when, or draws back like memories to when, what's her name? Cersei was being shamed.
Shamed. Yeah. Here's why I want to know something. Here's what I want to know. Ain't they starving up in King's Landing? How can they afford to throw all that damn food?
They're not starving yet.
They're not starving yet, man. They're not on the siege yet.
Yeah, not on the siege, but I mean, she could have done that and ended this war quickly. But Daenerys, of course, doesn't like doing stuff like that. So, I mean, she still has her Dothraki. She has the whole Dothraki
army,
which is massive.
Yeah, but how's she gonna get them off Dragonstone?
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, she ain't got no boats now.
She just lost a whole bunch more ships, and we know that Euron used up all the wood in Westeros. So we're gonna
no. Let's get it correct. The magical wood in Westeros.
The magical wood
that grows nowhere.
Nowhere.
Where is all the trees, Euron? Where are the fucking trees?
Yes, it's the magical wood. That's what he used. That is what he used.
Theon will kill Euron. Papa Gunday says, I mean, that'd be nice in like a poetic way, but this is Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's just Theon, man.
That means Theon would have to grow a pair, and we know Theon ain't got none.
No, I think Theon will when he's about to die. I think that's what's going to happen. There's going to be some little justification. We'll be like, okay, it's nice, but it's too late. I mean.
No, I think he would end up killing you. Don't forget, like Tyrion, not Tyrion. What's his name?
Theon.
Theon is not a bad fighter at all. He was trained alongside the men,
the Stark boys.
Alongside the Stark boys. So he got really good training. And the only reason like he's not that good is because he's arrogant as hell. So now that his arrogance is out the window, he might be a better fighter if he finally basically
gets some courage, right? Yeah, when he finds that courage.
Don't throw away Theon, man. Theon is he's not a joke. He's not a joke.
You know what? But then again, though, I have to say
he could cut off a damn head when he tried.
Yeah, true.
I remember that.
But remember this, though. He went through how many seasons of Ramsay's torture? I mean,
oh man.
Yeah. I mean, he went through a lot. He went through. Just go back.
Ramsay is probably one of the best bad guys that I've ever seen on a TV show.
Yeah, I mean, Ramsay was
the time they took with building up what Ramsay did to him. I didn't think they were gonna even spend that much time on that, but they did a great job of showing Ramsay just stripped him of humanity, man. Just
completely
made him a different person, turned him into someone that was subhuman, and we see that. We see that when he was trying to lie that he tried to save his sister and he's on the ground and they're like, yeah, if you tried, you'd be dead. And he doesn't even have an answer to that. He doesn't even try to basically fight that. He's just on the ground, curled up in the ball while everyone just walks away.
Oh yeah, I gotta say that you people in the chat are just evil, man. Papa Grande is Theon's got PTSD. What's the brother got to do? Marlon Blanc says, Lou, jump into the water. Then Lou says, swim. And then
Marlon says, turn into Aquaman.
Well, I thought it was Finding Theon.
Marlon Blanc just basically spoiled the Avengers for me. So now every time I see Aquaman, I'm gonna be like, Tyrion, no! Or Theon, no!
Oh my god, man!
Well, the Greyjoy is another term for just fuckboys. The fuckboy house. That's what they all are.
Sister's still alive though. He kept her. So
it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what happens there.
He's got her on a leash like a dog.
Yeah, but she, I mean, who knows? She has more.
I mean, dude, Game of Thrones made this cool. I mean, everybody else has been doing it lately.
What? Doing what? Leashes?
Putting women on dog leashes.
Oh, God. Say, what show are you watching, Lou?
Yeah, I mean,
Lou, what do you watch on TV?
The only reason why Lou is saying all this is because he cannot talk about what he wants to buy. He wants to talk about future episodes and things that he knows. She's trying to throw this curveball, and then he's going to drop something like, yeah, next episode, this is probably what I think. If Lou says he thinks anything will happen,
you know it's going to happen.
I ain't saying nothing. I'll keep it to myself.
Yeah.
We saw from Diddy 200 20,022. Basically, no, the Unsullied aren't dead. They're just stuck on.
But they also lost a lot of numbers too.
Yeah, they lost a lot of numbers, but they can't leave Castle Rock.
They actually didn't lose that many based on they lost some people for sure. But the real issue is that they have no food and they're stuck there, and they have no ships.
So they'll have to escape and march out.
Yeah.
They ain't got no ravens.
Melisandre's not going to be very happy for a few weeks, man. Melisandre's not going to be happy at all.
There's no Ubers in Westeros.
No,
not even.
It forces the Unsullied to march through enemy territory to King's Landing.
Yeah, that's the thing. So here's the question now. For next week episode, we know that we're going to see Arya. We know that Daenerys is flying her dragon, most likely to try and take out the ships over at Castle Rock. And then, do you think we're going to see the Hound next week as well? Because he's going up north. He and that crew are going up north. Or maybe we'll see him in 2 weeks.
Probably in 2 or 3 weeks. I think at the same time when Bran tells Jon that he's also a Targaryen, that's when we see the Hound.
So okay, here's my thing though. How does that change things now? I mean, if he tells him, if he says that and then he either publicizes it, because Jon won't. Jon does not publicize it.
If he says that, what it means is that Jon is still the
best
choice for King of the North, because then he becomes a true-born Stark, meaning all the rest. So basically, if Bran is a three-eyed raven, the other two are just women, and women don't have the right of what's it called.
Jon actually becomes the rightful heir to all of Westeros because he would be a true-born Targaryen.
No, I know that part. I'm not talking about
he would be the son of the actual heir.
But how do you think it will play out?
It would have to be Mira's dad was the only living person that was near that was there when Jon was discovered by Ned. So Mira's dead. The girl that's been carrying Bran around like Uber. She's basically Uber of Westeros. Yeah, she's the Uber of Westeros. Yeah, her father is the only living person that was at the Tower of Joy. So he could be the only person that could validate whether or not Jon is actually a true-born Targaryen. And if they get the right people to believe them, then maybe that's how he ascends to the throne.
Yeah, but John's not going to take it because remember, so there was something very telling in this episode, right? Where they were talking about Tyrion and how he talks a lot, and then Daenerys says, "Oh well, we all do what we're good at, right?" And Jon says, "I don't know, I don't like what I'm good at."
Yeah,
right. So they put him in a leadership position. He never sought out being the knights. What's it called? What they call him again? The Knights Captain,
Lord Commander.
Lord Commander.
Yeah, he never sought out to be the Knight Commander, but he became the Knight Commander. He never sought out to be the King of the North, but he became the King of the North. So he's good at being a leader, but he doesn't like it. That's not what he wants. So I think at this point too, he's gonna be like, nah, no, dude, I don't want any more of this. I don't want any more of this. I just want to save everyone from the undead and let you all do your own whatever.
I think if that comes out and he basically still tells Daenerys, I don't want it, then I think for her, then it's more of a family allegiance, less an oath allegiance, right? At that point.
And that's why he cannot bend the knee.
I mean, yeah, true, but he doesn't know.
That is why George R.R. Martin wouldn't write him bending the knee, because he is the true-born heir of Westeros.
Westeros, yeah.
Which would just fuck with Dany's head at that point. Like
it would. But I think because Jon would literally give her that and say, "I may be, but that's not what I'm here for.
I don't give a fuck."
and then truly, I think at that point he almost frees Winterfell and the North from that oath, all the oaths that people have sworn before. Because if she says, fine, as long as you're here, you fight with me, we're family, doesn't matter. And he's like, you can keep it, I don't care. Like, that's fine.
Or if he's giving her that ice, then that sells everything.
And she gives him that fire. She gives him that fire.
Oh my God.
More fire.
Sam is now doing J sounds. And that's that point where we need to just end the show. Oh, look, Tyrion Lannister joined. Just like Google joined yesterday.
Your boy, that's cool.
What question should we ask Tyrion here?
Why are you taking so many L's?
Yeah, and why did you build the sewers and then have like a perfect circle and just like a little crack in the freaking stone? Dude, you gotta build better, man.
Yeah, seriously. Tyrion, why are you taking L's? That's huge. It's like your boy's here. Ask away any questions. Oh man. Anyway, guys. It was a fun show. Thank you very much, everyone, for chiming in. As always, join us next week. Do we know the episode length, Lou, for next week?
No, I don't have that thing no more.
Short episode coming up, really short one.
I believe the short one is episode 5, if I remember correctly.
We all have internet. Like we could all be typing right now.
Yeah, but you guys all got supercomputers.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, with your 85 tabs open and your Google still works good.
You can search back there. You got some power. Lou, you got a PlayStation 3.
Okay, here it is. Lou's right.
Dust.
Lou's right. Episode 4 is the shortest at 50 minutes. So we're good.
What?
Next week is actually the third. Next week is the third longest at 63 minutes for next week.
So you mean episode 5? Because next week is episode 4.
Oh yeah, you're right. Episode 4 is the shortest next week. So
at what, 51?
50 minutes. 50 minutes.
So it's next week's episode?
Next week's episode. So we will be starting around 10:10 next week for the show. So join us then, guys. Did Tyrion ask any questions? John and Blondie. What? So you read it?
Oh, God. Oh,
I think the politically correct term is what he's trying to say is that Jon and Blonde number 2, a.k.a. Dany, will consummate a relationship in episode 7.
I mean, Tyrion, is that how you address your queen, as the hand? I mean, come on, bro.
No, Jesus.
See, I can neither confirm nor deny.
On that
note, yes.
On that note,
this is when the show.
Yeah, ending the show. Definitely, you know what? Look, check out and follow everyone on Twitter. We've got, Mr. Andrew Cam here. That is his Twitter handle, the Resident Book Nerd. Thank you very much for joining, as always. And of course, actually, stay away from. Follow Bored Buddha on Twitter.
I don't put those spoilers on Twitter.
He doesn't put any spoilers on Twitter.
I barely tweet.
Because if he does, people will probably kill him, though.
I know we'll find him.
and of course, you can follow Mr. Warren Bowman at BW1.com, Twitter, as well as YouTube. And we've got Sam, aka Black Iron _man, part of Booredatwork Network. You can follow him on Twitter. That is his handle. And myself, it is Booredatwork, Twitter, as well as YouTube. I say YouTube. So thank you very much, guys, for joining us. Subscribe, hit the notification icon. Join us next week at 10:10 for more Game of Thrones.
We'll be waiting for you, Tyrion.
Yes,
we'll see you next week.
You'll be here next week. All right, cool, man. Be here. Papa Grande, everyone who chimed in, thanks for all the comments. Enjoy, and always enjoy.
You want to see Theon, too. Where that fuckboy at?
Pouring out for Lady Olenna.
How about Gendry? Where the fuck is Gendry?
Gendry might
be. He'll show up in the last episode with like huge arms.
No, Gendry is coming back, I told you, as Popeye. That's where he got them arms from. He's gonna be coming back. Anyway, guys, catch you next week.